Good morning, Bitcoins. This is the World Crypto Network, live from Prague. It's all happening at Paralelní Polis at the Hacker Conference. Look, we've even got it here on Google Earth if I push the button right. Oh, Google Earth is loading. That's where we are. We're in Prague. So check it out. We've got the World Crypto Network backdrop with Crypto HW Wallet, which you can get at cryptohwwallet.com. They've got Trezors and ledgers. Look, the Google thing's even rotating like a real animation. We are all set here. As you can see, we have the big red couch, and all we need now is people to fill it. So we're going to start filling the couch. Let's bring on Theo Goodman, one of the co-hosts of the World Crypto Network. Come on in, Theo.
What's up, everyone?
How's it going out there? What do you guys think of they say they like our webcam setup. It's pretty cool, huh?
Yes, it's cool. We've got an official backdrop, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to go full time here, and you're going to see a wide range of guests here. We're going to bring on all kinds of people. The conference is very well organized. I'm really surprised how many rooms there are, and you walk around and you discover one talk, and then you go around, and then there's another talk, and it's very high quality. Sound is really good, very high production value. Another thing that's really interesting is that if you buy anything here, coffee, beer, food, or whatever, you have to pay in Bitcoin or Litecoin. So Charlie Lee, what's up? Shout out Charlie Lee if you're watching this. Then
get on a plane.
Give Charlie Lee a shout out, a retweet, and then he will, maybe he can come over here. Hey Charlie Lee, you still have time. And Litecoin's pretty high price. You could get, first class ticket across the ocean. We're here for you, so come on, check it out. Now, what it is hold my mic for a minute.
Maybe we can get Charlie Lee on one of Elon Musk's rocket ships. So get him here in 15 minutes, yeah?
So what they have here at the cafe is they have these cards, and I'm not going to show you because that's my private key. No, I'm just joking. It's not, but. You might know that classic. Anyway, you load it up. They have an ATM, and you can buy Bitcoin or Litecoin. And then you load up with the address, and then they give you this when you register for the conference. And what it is a touchless card that you can pay with that goes with the address that they've given you. You do need to keep it together. So it's not a perfect solution, but it's pretty cool, and it works for in that cafe environment. And actually, they encourage people to use Litecoin, probably because is it not working?
They're saying it's not on. Try talking right in.
Is this loud enough now?
Just compete with Tom.
Litecoin is the shit. Use it. It's working live. Real altcoin, real life use case here in Prague right now, and that's really interesting. What do you think, Mad Bitcoins? Have you bought anything with Litecoin today?
No, I only use Bitcoin.
You only use Bitcoin.
That's
so you're
it.
using your wallet and you're paying with Bitcoin.
I am.
Okay.
It's been going good.
Okay. Well,
they're still saying the mic might not be working, but we're not sure about that. So we're going to check that. Thomas's mic is working. That's good for me. That's bad for the guests.
Okay. How does my microphone sound now?
Yeah, it's just quieter.
It's just quieter.
Well, I didn't do anything. But anyway, that's okay. We're going to hack the system here because it's the hacker conference. And I'm just going to speak louder if I need to.
Yep.
And so we've got here.
They think only my mic is working, yeah? They're still saying it's physically off. Should I turn it off and on, Ryan?
Yeah, if you think that'll make it.
Pair, blinking. It says nothing.
That's okay. You can just talk.
I'm going to work on this. It says this is Ox 635.
So, Mad Bitcoins, what do you think about Prague? Mad Bitcoins, how is your check?
I know no words. I think I said Drago, Rago or something this morning to say good morning. That's all I've got. Still only mine. You guys are like 30 seconds behind, so give us 30 seconds and we'll try Theo's mic again.
Test.
It works. You just gotta check
Okay.
it. Just don't walk in your mouth. Yeah, hold it like in your mouth.
Okay.
All right, let's give Theo one more try on the mic, and then everybody at home let us know if it's working.
Here in Prague, we're using Litecoin to buy beer, coffee, food, and other items at the cafe. It is quite the revolutionary instance of altcoin use cases in a real-life scenario. Charlie Lee, this is a message to you. You have to come over here now because people are buying beer and other items with Litecoin. They're going to the ATM and they're showing a real life use case of Litecoin. Louder.
Yell it at him.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
I can get louder,
confusing.
it's okay.
They say they want to rap.
Oh, the same dude knows your song.
Okay. All right. Anyway, we're gonna try not to get distracted by technical difficulties here, and we're gonna get really loud, ladies and gentlemen. So, what talk, Mad Bitcoins, Thomas Hunt? What talk have you seen today that was interesting, and what talk are you looking forward to in the conference?
Well, I never really go to the talks at the conferences, so I'm interested in Paige's talk. She talked about Zcash. I'm interested in Pamela Morgan's talk. She talks about what's going to happen to your Bitcoin when you're dead. I want to hear Tone's talk, although I think I heard it in Essen. Also, Tone's doing an ICO panel, so that might be fun. Adam Back would be great. And then they wanted me to share the lapel mic. So we'll see how that goes. I think Theo's mic is working more, but we'll see how it's going. But first, we also have a rap song. Someone sent us the official rap crypto song. Good morning, Bitcoins. This is the World Crypto Network, live from Prague. It's all happening at Paralelní Polis at the Hacker Conference. Look, we've even got it here on Google Earth if I push the button right. Oh, Google Earth is loading. That's where we are. We're in Prague. So check it out. We've got the World Crypto Network backdrop with Crypto HW Wallet, which you can get at cryptohwwallet.com. They've got Trezors and ledgers. Look, the Google thing's even rotating like a real animation. We are all set here. As you can see, we have the big red couch, and all we need now is people to fill it. So we're going to start filling the couch. Let's bring on Theo Goodman, one of the co-hosts of the World Crypto Network. Come on in, Theo.
What's up, everyone?
How's it going out there? What do you guys think of they say they like our webcam setup. It's pretty cool, huh?
Yes, it's cool. We've got an official backdrop, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to go full time here, and you're going to see a wide range of guests here. We're going to bring on all kinds of people. The conference is very well organized. I'm really surprised how many rooms there are, and you walk around and you discover one talk, and then you go around, and then there's another talk, and it's very high quality. Sound is really good. Very high production value. Another thing that's really interesting is that if you buy anything here, coffee, beer, food, or whatever, you have to pay in Bitcoin or Litecoin. So Charlie Lee, what's up? Shout out Charlie Lee. If you're watching this, then
get on a plane.
Give Charlie Lee a shout out, a retweet, and then he will, maybe he can come over here. Hey Charlie Lee, you still have time, and Litecoin's pretty high price. You could get first class ticket across the ocean. We're here for you, so come on, check it out. Now, what it is hold my mic for a minute.
Maybe we can get Charlie Lee on one of Elon Musk's rocket ships. So get him here in 15 minutes, yeah?
So what they have here at the cafe is they have these cards, and I'm not going to show you because that's my private key. No, I'm just joking. It's not, but you might know that classic. Anyway, you load it up. They have an ATM, and you can buy Bitcoin or Litecoin, and then you load up with the address, and then they give you this when you register for the conference, and what it is a touchless card.
Gave us a chance to work on our technical difficulties here, so we're going to give it another try. I'm going to move over a little. Theo, you move over a little. And then just, Theo, go ahead and try to eat that microphone and give him a check or two.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I'm checking out I'm actually looking at the program to see what the next conference is.
There you go.
I mean, not the next conference, but the next talk is about. And yeah.
They still say it's getting picked up from my microphone, but we're still working on the technical issues.
Today at 6 p.m., which is 1800 European time, there is an interesting talk by a guy called Smuggler. The Fog of the Crypto War. Technical aspects of crypto politics and how crypto activists are engaging with the straw man, while the real thing happens in a different room. Undermining algorithms, key escrow, no more end-to-end encryption, breaking internet security by outlawing crypto, and why it's about none of the above. So that actually sounds really interesting. So we're gonna have to, some people here are gonna have to break out and actually go to that maybe. And maybe we can get Smuggler in here. Now, Smuggler has a mask on, so I don't know if I did see one guy with the mask in the cafe today, but I don't know if it was that one, because there's more than one. But he is, so, that's the thing. If you're going to do a mask and you're going to, go to the demo or you're going to go to the conference, you got to go all out. You got to go mask in, mask out. And so he's doing it right. You got to come in, mask on, and you got to go out, mask on too. And that's how you do it if you're going to go mask. So,
that's
none
true,
of this
Theo.
posing stuff, right?
When I saw Zhao Tong in Washington, D.C., those guys never took their anonymous masks off the whole time. They performed. They were all over the place. Always masks on.
Right, so we got Smuggler. That looks like a very interesting talk. I was just briefly in positive libertarianism. I forgot who the speaker was, but I didn't really see a whole lot of it. But actually, I was surprised. A lot of times I'm pretty skeptical about most talks. I think, oh, that's going to be really boring, and I'm just going to fall asleep or something. But actually, it was a lot better than I thought. The last 10 minutes of it. And the questions about what they were asking, and the speaker was talking about how he doesn't really, he's not against people making their own countries like Liberland or whatever, like buying their own stuff and making libertarian oases by doing that. He's not against that, but he doesn't think that's maybe the best way to do it, and he doesn't believe in revolutions. He thinks it's just going to be kind of like how Rome happened, and we're in some kind of state where Rome was falling, and talking about all that. It's a little bit philosophical, but that's pretty interesting. And also, he said in Bratislava, or I probably pronounced that wrong, that they have a voluntary bike sharing program, and it actually works. So people actually lend out their bikes for free, and he said that he didn't think that system would work, in theory, because he called it a communist utopia, but he says that it works great, and he uses it all the time. So I think that's a pretty interesting insight. It's not directly with crypto per se, but that's pretty interesting. I had never heard of that before. And so there's a lot of discussions about that kind of thing. I was briefly just right next to it at Pamela
Morgan.
Excuse me.
Different. Slight difference, yeah.
It's okay. Hey, we're live on air. What can I say? Yeah? Okay, give me again. Pamela
Morgan
was giving a very good talk. It was really interesting. And she had an evidence bag. And it's kind of like a, how can I explain it? Anyway, it's an evidence bag. It's kind of like a medical bag, because if once you seal it, then it's sealed. And she was talking about, someone tell me if I'm incorrect, but she was talking about putting your Trezor or some kind of keys in there, and then you can see if anyone has tampered with it. Because what if, let's say that you have Trezors or whatever, paper wallets or whatever, and they're at your home. Well, how do you know someone wasn't at your home when you were gone, and they just put everything there back as it was, just like you see in the movies? They take a picture and they go back really carefully. And but it could be, who knows? But how are you going to check that? Well, you have to put it in in a tamper-proof bag, and she was talking about that, so I hope that she can come on later and go in more in depth about that idea. But I think that's a interesting idea, and I don't know how many people are getting broken into and having their treasures tampered with, but who knows? There could be, your computer could be tampered with, your hardware, other hardware, could your phone, whatever, definitely could be tampered with. So should we put everything in a tamper-proof bag before we leave home? Maybe. I don't know. It's a good question.
Pretty much. And I have some friends in San Francisco. They're so worried about their bags, they won't leave their laptops anywhere else. They always keep them with you. They always have a backpack on them with their laptop because they're pretty sure once they leave the room, the government's going to get on their laptop. But it seems like a long shot. I don't think they're that
well,
wanted.
You know, everyone has to, balance the paranoia with the, with reality or the utility of actually doing it themselves. I mean, you shouldn't be so paranoid that you can't live your life, because what's the point then? But hey, if you want to me that's too much. I say just don't put so much valuable stuff on your laptop. Maybe it's not so easy to do, but or just have a bunch of burner ones, or I don't know, something like that. But everyone has their own solution. If they want to backpack their laptops, then they can. What do you? I don't know if you know the name of. There is a tribe, and they carry their offspring on their back.
I think
that's
what
it kind of reminds me of. It's like
humans do that, and kangaroos.
Yeah, humans do that, yes, but there's a particular name for. Anyway, it's kind of like carrying
the Umgatlu tribe, out of North Kenya, is common for carrying their babies on their back, similar to marsupials, the fancy word for kangaroo.
There we go, marsupial. So I think that so what you described is the crypto security marsupial solution to laptop security, as opposed to another one, which can work if you turn your laptop into a marsupial, and you have a marsupial relationship with your laptop, then that can be a form of security. For me, it doesn't work, but maybe for some people, and you could argue that we all have marsupial relationships with our phones. Pretty much, right?
Now, normally they'd say we're off topic, but I can tell from the chat they're talking about putting their genital organs in a tamper-resistant bag. So they're right with you, Theo. Also, the chat seems to have forgotten who Theo is. So Theo, remind the people, who is Theo Goodman?
My name is Theo Goodman. You can check me out, Theo G __ on Twitter. Who is Theo? Theo is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Check out, if you want to see some past videos, then go to World Crypto Network and go back to 2014 area and just check out some videos from there. You can, as far as World Crypto Network, you can check out Chris Before Coffee, Transmission, the Bitcoin Group, and other streams.
Bitcoin Talk Show, and I just want to
Derek
warn.
is in the house today.
Exactly, I want to warn everyone who's about 6 months old in crypto, maybe watched our videos for 3 months. We're going to be having the whole cast and crew of the World Crypto Network here. So you're going to be, who's that guy? Who's that guy? And it turns out they're all there in the World Crypto Network archive. You can all go back and see the history of us talking about Bitcoin with all of our friends. And we're going to have this big couch here, and we're just going to keep bringing people on. And you're going to have to deal with who's that guy. So sorry, chat. There's a 30-second delay or so, too. So we can't respond instantly to your every demand. We can respond within a minute or two to your every demand. So we work together.
We're here to serve you. No, I'm just saying. Sorry, I just wanted to say that's true, and as new people come in, but maybe they've been around other ecosystems or whatever. There's waves, and that's how it has been with World Crypto Network. It doesn't mean that people go away totally, but there was like waves of people that came and gone. Maybe they come back sometimes. You know what I mean? So there was different activity waves, you could call it, of the network. With different shows and different people, and it just so happens that some of these conferences, some of them meet each other in real life, and that's really cool. And we can have discussions in real life, and we can live stream it too. And
And
Yeah,
we want to thank our friend Pirate Beach Bum, who sent in this Mad Bitcoins Ferris Bueller artwork. A little bit of the Mad Bitcoins Michael Jackson look there from Philippe. So that's fun to see. That was on Twitter. And then we'll go back to Theo.
Hunt. Hunt. I'm trying to do like Ferris Bueller, but anyway.
Very good.
Okay, so life moves pretty fast.
Go ahead, read it to the people.
Okay,
They might not be able to read
life
it.
moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Okay, very philosophical moment by Philippe. Philippe is a really good artist. Check him out. Also, I want to give a quick, while we're on the art topic, just give a quick shout out to btcartgallery.com. Also for new people, one really good way to understand the history of the really long history of cryptocurrency and what's going on is to check out the artwork and the memes from the past, because it's kind of like a crash course in some of the things that have gone on. So if you check out BTC Art Gallery, what he did is he documented for years now different memes and different pictures and artwork, and so yeah, you can really see the feeling of what was going on now. So I think we have a news topic.
And, one of my favorite memes, Theo, is recently they had the Dread Pirate Roberts from The Princess Bride, and it said, he was talking about China FUD, and he said, "Fortunately, I've built up an immunity to Chinese FUD over the years." It's a great meme, very funny.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah,
you have to know the movie to really get it, but that's true.
We do have breaking news that Singapore's central bank has announced their plans to regulate Bitcoin. This comes on the news of the Dubai country starting their own cryptocurrency and the possibility of an IMF cryptocurrency. So a lot of government and cryptocurrency things are starting to happen, even though Jamie Dimon said that Bitcoin is nothing but a fraud, and then one of his other guys said Bitcoin is nothing but tulips again. So Theo, this is another good chance to talk about tulips. I was in Amsterdam recently, and you'll be surprised to know that tulips still cost money.
They do, they really do. Unfortunately, I don't have the link on hand, but I will try to put it on Twitter while we're on the tulips topic. That's very interesting is that the tulips craze was not as it's depicted, actually, as much as it was depicted. There's not a lot of evidence to say that your everyday grandma invested in tulip futures and things like that, which we sometimes get. So a lot of the stories of the tulip craze are exaggerated. Yes, there definitely was a tulips craze, and there was the price pumped and all that stuff, but overall there's less historical evidence of as it's usually depicted, which is pretty interesting. Because it's just used as attempted to use as a knockout argument for about anything speculative, that anything that people are interested in that is going up, people just say, oh, that's tulips, so I'm going to explain myself. Now, as far as Singapore or Dubai or other countries, I mean, I have not read the whole story. I don't know all the details, but, Bitcoin, you don't want to miss out. So what do? Well, you got to do something. Singapore is saying, okay, well, they've got Bitcoin, they've got ICOs. People are coming to Singapore to register their ICOs. We want to have a clear we want to have rules about it. We don't want to miss out if the governments might think if we don't have regulations, or we don't know if there are strict regulations or in favor of startups, but they're going to want to be on board. They don't want to miss out on that, probably. It's a small country, so they need startups, and I'm gonna, without seeing, kind of like behind the hidden door, I'm gonna guess that it's relatively favorable for startups to go to Singapore is a regulation, but maybe I'm totally wrong, because I would think a small country would want to have attract business rather than the other way around. Bigger countries can say, oh no, you can go to hell, I don't want this shit.
And we're still waiting for Blockchain Valley. We're still waiting for that one country that says we're going to be the Bitcoin country and we're going to do it all and we're going to welcome all the Bitcoiners, because other countries are looking more like they might regulate the Bitcoin. Places like China and Russia, there's been some interesting laws they're working on. So there is still hope that maybe Singapore, maybe Estonia, maybe Switzerland somebody's going to come out and they're going to say, wow, we can be, or maybe even Dubai, like this morning's announcement of M-Coin, the new Dubai official government cryptocurrency.
Well, they're all competing against each other too. You know, they're competing against each other to attract business, more or less. Yeah, I mean, you could say they're competing against each other for worldwide domination through imperialistic military, blah 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 blah. But I mean, you know, they are competing against each other in that sector, you know, to attract the coolest, most profitable businesses that don't disrupt their power structure enough for it to matter. You know, and so they're trying to figure out what rules can we have to. I think a lot of them are coming to, well, we have to say something. Just having no opinion is not going to be enough. Why is that not going to be enough? Well, that's what happened kind of like in China recently, where the rules for the exchanges were kind of unclear. There wasn't a clear rule. And so people start businesses, or there weren't enough clear rules. People start businesses, and then, oh shit, they all get shut down. So if we go ahead and make rules, then people can decide if they want to follow them or not, and whether they think this is a good place to do business or not, and then they might attract more business than the other countries that they're competing against. Now, you know, you could say they're competing to get more tax revenue, or they're just competing to make the whole country better for whatever their motivation is secondary. They're competing against each other, and I think we're just going to see more and more, whether it's making their own cryptocurrency or having favorable regulations, or even having unfavorable regulations to say, no, we don't like this. We want to we want to get rid of them, maybe. So we're going to see more and more. And Jamie Dimon, I mean, he's getting sued for saying Bitcoin is a scam on Twitter, or whatever his exact quote was. And yeah, you know, if you are in the regulated market like Jamie Dimon is, you can't do that, because there are registered derivatives traded in Bitcoin, and a company that is from, you know, one of those registered derivatives is saying, hey, you can't do that, Jamie Dimon. And then at the same time, buy our derivative in your customer's behalf. So, you know, that might be allowed in some, you know, gray area markets, but it's not allowed in the registered space. So let's see. But he got a lot of exposure. You know, more people know who Jamie Dimon is. Maybe this is, you know, part of his promotion for his autobiography.
Oh, there it is. You know? That's the inside. He'll have a new autobiography. I think most people know who Jamie Dimon is, but it's always good for the media when they have one of their sources they can quote, and they can say, once again, the same old narrative from 4 years ago or 3 years ago, Bitcoin's a scam, Bitcoin's tulips, all of these things. But it's starting to seem really desperate. I really think the bankers are starting to be afraid of Bitcoin. They're starting to realize what it could do. The IMF head, the head of the Russian central bank, even the Chinese government, when they banned ICOs and closed their exchanges, they all said that they were afraid of Bitcoin taking away the government's monopoly over the ability to make currency. And we wanted to do a quick check of the Bitcoin price. It's around 43.85 when I turned my laptop around. We were above 4,400 today a little bit, and now we've dropped back down a little, but we still are up overall. And I think we want to get the big couch going, so we want to welcome our first guest. We want to have Gideon from the Blockchain Hotel Conference, which Theo and I just went to in Essen, Germany, about a week or maybe 2 weeks ago as time goes by. So hello. Gideon, how's it going?
I'm fine, and you?
Doing great.
Thanks for being a part here.
Thanks so much, and thanks for having us in Essen at the Blockchain Hotel. That was a lot of fun.
You're welcome. It was amazing, I think.
How did it go? Did you have like the attendance you wanted? Was it big enough? Was it small enough? What was your experience?
Let's say it was okay.
It was okay?
It was from our side, we planned it as a kind of marketing step also. So in this situation, we are happy about the event, about the guests, about the special guests we had, including you. And the next one will be in a much larger scale in a church. That's our plan.
Very cool.
And,
Blockchain church.
Yeah, that's what you'll say. We may not say this in Germany, but you can, of course, you can say it.
And then Theo gave one of the interesting speeches there. Theo talked about Rare Pepe and the history of memes and humor, and how humor can launch a cryptocurrency like Dogecoin, and it can also launch a trading system like Rare Pepe.
Exactly.
Yeah, and And it's still a very rare speech since it's not on YouTube yet. But it's okay.
Oh.
That's why you have to go to the conference itself to get the rare info.
It will be online, believe me. Trust
Okay.
me. It will be online. So,
And that was
soon-
just
as soon
what
as
Tone
possible.
was talking about, how he always likes to live stream his conference and his speeches because he never knows when they're going to make it online. But they had a great setup and they had a great live stream, and I'm sure it'll be up soon.
We had a lot of work to do after the conference also, so the videos are the second priority. Of course, especially your one. Because
Second priority.
Well, Pepe's a second-class citizen, I'm afraid.
By the way, I liked your talk the most of all,
Okay.
to be honest, really. It was very funny, it was amazing.
Great.
Thank you.
I liked Theo's talk, and I liked our friend Michael, who was starting a kind of a Bitcoin
Of course,
blockchain
every talk was
church.
cool.
He had a lot of really interesting kind of hippie slides.
Yes.
I really liked hearing his perspective and his ideas.
Yes.
It was very cool stuff. So Gideon, we'll be doing another conference at the Blockchain Hotel next year?
Yes, of course. In the best case, in July next year. The final date we will figure out and let all of you know as soon as possible. Until this date, we have a lot of workshops, seminars around this blockchain space for newbies, also for experts like smart contract workshops. So if you are in Germany, feel free to join the Blockchain Hotel, spend a night, and every user who looks to your show will get a free upgrade to the business suite.
Oh. And can you tell us anything more about the Blockchain Hotel? I kind of explored it a little. Looked like it was an artist space.
It's an amazing big co-working and artist space, around about 4,500 square meters, around about 1,500 artists, and a hotel. So we have enough space and seminar rooms for workshops and coming together, meetups, conferences, and you both, I think you confirm with me that it's an amazing place. It's just the spirit of this place. We have a rooftop all over the city. It's 7 minutes from the central station. So what do you need more to have a good place to meet your friends and to meet your hackers, friends, whatever.
And don't forget the food. They also had a great buffet at the Blockchain Hotel. I could eat anything I want, and I could eat as much as I wanted. So it was a great fun for me and maybe for Theo too.
Yes. As I said, looking forward to see you all at the Blockchain Hotel, blockchainhotel.de. Just check it out. I think for your viewers, the workshops are not the first place interested. I think for you it's important that we have at the weekends special conditions for special prices for meetups. So if you want to come together with your friends, just book the apartment, for example, that you saw yourself.
Yep.
It's an amazing place to make a weekend full of hard work, and that's what we
Sounds like a great place for a startup to do one of their
Exactly.
whatever they call them, away days or preparation meetings, so they get all set.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Gideon.
That's it. Thank you a lot.
And then now we'd like to continue welcoming more guests. Maybe Joseph from Crypto HW Wallet would like to come down. And as you can see from the backdrop right here, thanks, Gideon, for being on the show. Everybody clap. We'll start doing that. Do the Johnny Carson thing.
We've got a live studio audience here.
We do. It's starting to get bigger and bigger. We have more people coming through. We want to thank Justin in the audience. Just sent us $2. Thanks, Justin. And like I said, Crypto HW Wallet. It's the place where you can get treasures and ledgers. And Joseph works there and runs it and can tell us more about it. Joseph, what about Crypto HW Wallet?
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Thomas, for the opportunity. The first time I was on your show was a few months back with Tony.
Yep, we're on the Bitcoin group together.
That's right. Once again, my name is Joseph Wang. I am the founder of Crypto HW Wallet. Currently, I am running the company with around 4 or 5 other guys. What we're doing is obviously bring all the hardware wallets to one roof, which is currently Bitcoin.org certifies Trezor, Ledger, KP, and Digital Bitbox. So we bring all of them all together under one roof. So we call ourselves Crypto Hardware Wallet Superstore. Besides that, we are also customizing leather cases for 3 of the wallets that we believe that are a good fit for it. which are Trezor, KeepKey, and Ledger Blue. We understand that Ledger Blue currently is running really behind on stocking their devices. We have received a lot of orders, even some as early as in May. We have not been able to fulfill. We want to take this opportunity to apologize for the delay. I was just with the Ledger a few days ago in Paris. We discussed the situation, but we should be getting the units within a month, hopefully by the end of November or early December. We're able to fill all the orders, and then they should also fill all their backlogs. I want to thank World Crypto Networks for the opportunity. Obviously, we're really proud to sponsor this event, make all this possible, that they're able to come over here and share all this crypto news with everybody. We want to offer a special coupon code that will be lasting for about 3 days until the event ends. You can follow us on Twitter, obviously. CryptoHW Wallet is our handle, Twitter handle. We will announce the coupon code for 20% off. Because this is more of a proprietary Trezor event, so it will only be available for Trezor leather cases. We want to make that exclusive. And I don't know if any of you have seen the case, but it looks like this. I don't know if you can zoom in. It's a genuine leather. It's made for Trezor, and it comes in a really, really nice gift box. For those of you who have not seen the casing, it's like this. It comes in 2 colors. One is black, another is brown. We have both. They make a perfect gift for those crypto lovers. Either, if you're a lady, you have a significant other, your husband who have Trezors, this will be a great secret gift for Christmas or for any occasion, I suppose. It comes in a nice dust bag with a gift card. We basically took the approach of how these luxury handbags were packaged, how they were made. We want to make it that way because this is storing your fortune, and it is basically a Swiss bank for people who use these Trezor or these wallets. We want to accessorize it beautifully and protect your device for a long-lasting lifetime, I guess.
Well, exactly, and that's just what I was saying earlier, Joseph, is that people put so much money in their Trezor and then they don't keep it in anything. So now finally there's a little case you can put it in, have something nice to store what is really probably all of your money.
And absolutely, and we're so happy to see the cryptocurrency value continues to rise, not only Bitcoin, but even some of the altcoins. We believe this trend will still continue. This will ensure the investors' seriousness into, or their attitude towards investing. So if you're serious about investing in cryptocurrency, one of the best tools or one of the most necessary tools is a hardware wallet. So Trezor is absolutely one of the best choices you can make. And Prague happens to be where Trezor was originated. So this is all coming hand in hand. It's amazing. This is my first time in Prague. I had a beautiful experience with all of these guys. I really appreciate the opportunity, and if any of you obviously have interest in these products, feel free to come on our website and check us out, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed.
All right, thank you, Joseph, and that was CryptoHWWallet.com. And we also want to say that Trezor is one of the sponsors of the conference, so we're very thankful for Trezor for sponsoring the HCPP conference. And now to continue the big couch and just keep things going, we'd like to welcome Paige Peterson, who used to be with MaidSafe, but now is with Zcash. Everybody welcome Paige.
Thank you, studio audience.
Audience is doing good. We're going to get a band in here tomorrow. Just give us a couple of days. And remember, Paige, keep that mic really close to your mouth. The audience, they really want to hear you. They won't stop in the chat.
Right.
We also want to thank Justin for giving us $2 twice. It worked both times, but I think they tricked you the second time. So you got to watch out. That chat's a little wily. You got to watch out for them. So how's it going, Paige?
Great. I gave my talk already, so now I can chill out.
Oh, that's what's great about getting the first talk at the conference.
Yeah.
You're out of the way now.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is set.
Yeah.
So what was your talk about? Because I missed it.
I spoke about Well, first of all, I spoke about the general concept of internet money and what that means, and then I introduced Zcash as, kind of filling those needs that Bitcoin probably potentially hasn't been able to do so.
Well, just give us some time. Bitcoin will fulfill
Okay.
all of your needs.
What are the
Do you have to go?
what are some of the needs that Zcash fills?
So, namely, privacy and fungibility. Right now, if someone wanted to say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to accept your Bitcoin because it's been spent at this location or used by this individual," then they can do that.
And certainly people talked about that with the Dread Pirate Roberts coins. Maybe the Silk Road coins would be somehow tainted and worth less than others.
Yep.
I've also heard that original Bitcoins from a block are worth more valuable
Yep.
than used Bitcoins.
Yep. So that general concept that one unit is equal to any other unit in the system, and that is very directly tied to privacy. So by not being able to trace the history of a cryptocurrency token, then you also provide an individual or any people that are using the cryptocurrency with basic fundamental human rights, which is privacy. So there's I ended my talk with a nice troll meme that one of the scientists at Zcash created. It says, "Bitcoin, it's like Twitter for your debit card." So.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Twitter for
I'm not
your
quite
debit
sure.
card. Let's ponder that for a moment.
So I can use 240 characters now instead of 180. It's going to be much bigger now.
There you go. Yeah, now you can. Well, yeah.
Can you give us a rundown of zero knowledge proofs for dummies, or some kind of real? Because it's always a topic that comes up with Zcash. There's other time, or people even talk about it in Bitcoin. Zero knowledge proof, zero knowledge, this, that. Can you just give us like a quick breakdown?
If it's possible.
Yeah. So not a lot of people call it moon math because there is a lot of
Right.
the cryptography behind it is pretty complex. But essentially, what it allows for is to encrypt the transaction data that gets stored on the blockchain, while still maintaining the verifiability of that data. So you can prove that you haven't spent coins in the past. You can prove that you actually are the owner of those coins, all without revealing the specifics of that data to anyone except parties that you choose to. So I don't know how deep to go into it, but essentially uses these concepts of when you receive a Zcash token that's in a shielded address, then a commitment is created that's kind of used later on for when it's spent. So there's a nullifier that's created when a Zcash shielded token is spent. So the nullifier links to the commitment. So you essentially the nodes in the network know that it hasn't been spent again.
Okay, sorry, studio audience was distracting me a little.
All right, so what kind of things would people use Zcash for, Paige?
Zcash is internet money, so you can use it for anything. Essentially, like anything that you can use Bitcoin for, you can use Zcash for. Plus, anything that you are nervous to use Bitcoin for because you could potentially have your identity linked to an address, you can use Zcash for.
The audience won't stop saying it. They're saying it over and over again. Could we use Zcash to buy sex?
I mean, it's
We
a
would
free
have to
world,
nego-
I guess.
we-
In places where that's legal, yeah, sure.
Certainly in Amsterdam, perhaps, or maybe in Essen.
Yeah.
If you had a
If that's your thing.
pre-negotiation with the girl, she was willing to set up the wallet, or maybe the boy, depending on who you are at home.
We don't have to read everything that the chat audience says.
Well, Ken sent us $2 and he demanded it, so
okay.
I think that was
Sorry.
a super
Excuse me.
chat type question.
My bus. Sorry.
So we had to go there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. What is his name?
Ken?
Ken. Ken, you're just going to have to do a test for us and let us know if it was a successful transfer.
Obvious, send us the video. Blur out parts, maybe.
Okay, so we know, so Zcash is anonymous, and it uses zero knowledge proofs. And that's, okay. Anything else? Well, I know it has like a real low mining reward or something like that. What's up with the supply? It's very deflationary, or it's deflationary like most other cryptocurrencies, or how does that play into it?
So the Zcash distribution mirrors Bitcoin's distribution, except Zcash was launched 7 years after Bitcoin. So there is a two and a half minute block time, but the initial first 4-year period before the first halving is 12.5 Zcash distributed. So that mirrors Bitcoin's original 10-minute, and it still maintains 10-minute block time with a 50 Bitcoin distribution in 10 minutes. So
All right.
it's the same ratio.
What about the founder's reward? How does that work out?
So for the first 4 years, 2.5 Zcash go to this founder's reward fund, where the rest of the 10 go to the actual miners, and that's the first 4 years. And then once that period's up, then there's no more founder's reward. The goal of the founder's reward is to enable the company and the foundation to maintain a steady income and ability to keep working on the protocol without worrying about VCs or doing the ICO thing. Like, we're super glad we didn't do an ICO at this point.
It is starting to get hairy out there for the ICOs. And the founder's reward is similar to what they do at Dash, right? Dash has a certain amount of their money set aside for projects such as marketing or videos.
But they did a pre-mine, right?
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah, so ours is so we don't have all of the money all at once. We get,
So you have to keep working on the project, whereas Dash could maybe just go on vacation now.
Yeah, I don't know how Dash distributes that fund that they have.
I think it's very complicated. They have a voting system.
Okay.
I'm not even sure who votes, but I know that like YouTube shows or other people, like Max Kaiser applied for a Dash grant to go on tour. And I'm not sure why, because I think Max Kaiser should have plenty of Bitcoin. So I could assume he could use that to go on tour. But for whatever reason, he and Stephen Baldwin, the actor, are on tour with Dash. So go figure. I don't know. It's a crazy world.
Yeah.
A Biodome fan in the audience. Pauly Shore is very happy now.
So I don't know if Dash has this difference between a company and a foundation, but Zcash has the for-profit company that, a for-profit company is really, really good for like bootstrapping a project, and that's kind of the mentality of having both for-profit and then also a foundation that the Founders Award will support. So, we also, so there is a Zcash Foundation. It's not really affiliated with the company. Like, we talk and like strategize a little bit between each other just because we want to support each other. But the idea is to, in the end, have a lot of the development of the core infrastructure maintained by the foundation. So it's not, there isn't any like special interest, like complexities with a for-profit company. And then also the idea with the foundation is to avoid doing to avoid screwing up in every single way that the Bitcoin Foundation ended up doing. So
what a great foundation it was. They sponsored every conference. They bought everything they could buy until there was no more money.
And they went to every conference.
They sure did.
And there's actually a really big announcement about the foundation coming up soon. I wish I could tell. I wish it was out already.
Teasers.
Keep an eye out on the Zcash Foundation, because it's gonna be good.
Now,
First of its kind.
Is that when there was a price hike to 400 a few days ago?
Oh.
Yeah.
Better leak or something?
Oh, that was, I don't know what's up with that. People were definitely anticipating Zcash getting listed on Bitthumb, which is the largest cryptocurrency exchange by volume.
Okay.
I think there was a little bit of a, like, potentially an internal leak, but I also saw people sharing I think the Bitthumb exchange accidentally like put a Zcash logo somewhere on their website or something that people found, and then they took it off.
Yeah. That's
So
unfortunate. You can't even preload your websites now. You have to do everything live in real time. It's so difficult.
Yeah.
I hate
So
that, yeah.
there was a big, like, I don't really understand what happened, but yeah, it went up to like 400 for like a minute and then went back
I'm
down.
rich, and then
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh well.
We'd like to thank Ken in the chat for sending us 420, and Bitcoin Informant for sending us €2. Thank you so much for your support. And what about Zuko, the founder of Zcash? I hear he's some kind of space alien, and he's really good at math. Is that true?
Zuko is a cypherpunk from back in the day. He is a cryptographer. Now he is assuming the CEO role, so less of the math stuff and more of the, like, you know, biz dev and CEO things. But he's actually a really great CEO, and I love working with him.
Does he wear a suit?
He does wear suits.
Ooh, that's how you know he's the CEO, because he wears suits. Like Theo right here is on his way to CEO,
Right, yeah.
suit but no tie. So he's like halfway
There you go. That's because I gotta get my tie at nindy.co.uk. I heard they have red ties. That's one of our studio audience members. I'm just kind of joking with him. But okay, well, I don't have any. There was someone in chat that said something. What about the master keys that might have not been destroyed? But I don't know the exact.
And remember,
it's
just
a common
to
question, right?
to remind the audience, when they created Zcash, they created a bunch of keys and then
Right.
destroyed them.
Yeah.
Peter Todd was involved. There was a laptop. There was a CD burner. Maybe the firmware of the CD burner is bad.
Was there a sledgehammer involved?
There was some sledgehammers, a fire. It was a whole ritual, right, Paige? What can you tell us
Yeah,
about?
we call it the ceremony.
The ceremony. That's not
So-
creepy at all.
This is referring to what people call as the trusted setup. So for the implementation of ZK snarks in Zcash, it requires this public, basically like a public key, but in order to create a public key, you need this private key. And this private key we refer to as the toxic waste, in that if any one person were to be able to control the private key, they would be able to print counterfeit as much Zcash as they wanted. It would not affect the privacy of Zcash at all, but they would be able to, inflate the currency. So in order to avoid that problem, there was a multi-party computation ceremony to generate these parameters, and it was actually a very interesting situation. The podcast Radio Lab actually did a show about it, so
Yeah.
I highly recommend y'all check that out because it's really fun to listen to. But essentially, we split up this key generation into 6 parties, such that each party was creating a shard of the public and private key.
Much like Voldemort and his Horcruxes, right? You have to spread them around so that evil stays
Yeah,
in the world, or
pretty
maybe
much.
doesn't stay. Yeah.
So, but it's set up in such a way that if only a single person in that ceremony did what they were supposed to do and destroy the private key, their shard of the private key, then it's safe.
So only one person.
Only one person had to do. You didn't need everyone to be,
Okay, so how many people would have to collude for that not to happen?
There were 6 participants, and all 6 participants would have had to collude and or compromise.
Okay.
And
Well,
we
and
also,
I know Peter Todd. He destroyed his laptop with a sledgehammer, and I also know he would never compromise.
and there was additionally 2 weeks ago we released an audit of the ceremony. So one of the participants was actually a security firm that did an audit of their entire setup. So they had each participant, each station had a network node and a compute node, and the compute node was the computer that was generating this private key that had their shard of the private key. So that was like the sensitive part. It was air gapped with the network node, which was used to communicate the shards of the public key. It was air gapped with a DVD. So the compute node had no networking, it was very bare minimum, bare bones hardware and bare minimum, bare bones software just to generate this key. And additionally, all of those DVDs essentially keep a record of what was transmitted between the nodes. So people can analyze them, which happened, and can see that, none of the private key shards were transmitted.
Well, that sounds great, because I always keep my sensitive parts air-gapped. We also have a great super chat from Russell, who sent us $20. Thank you, Russell. And Russell says, Bitcoin is evolving with airdrop forks. Bitcoin can remain a store of value and anchor for all versions of Bitcoin, functioning together to build a much larger adaptive economy. Altcoins can be replaced with airdrop forks. What do you think about that, Paige? Do you think the Bcash and the B2X is going to lead to a series of new altcoins that are just copies of Bitcoin?
Maybe. I don't know.
But it's unlikely to replace Zcash, because Zcash was created with a ceremony. It's not just a copy of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, Zcash is a fork of Bitcoin, but with all of the zero knowledge proof stuff added.
But you didn't give me all the coins? I didn't get free Zcash?
No, it's a fork of the code. It's not a fork of the
chain.
The chain, exactly. There's a difference between that, which is important to
Unfortunately,
understand.
I could have really scored there with the free Zcash. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. No.
Next time. Next time.
Yeah, what? You need to just start a sharding ritual audit company and audit that, and then there you go. You don't have to worry about any more
I
airdrops.
could be the one that gets to
private
smash.
Pre-sale, send me a private message right now. I think I think these airdrop things are a new trend, and we'll see more of them, but I don't think they'll replace altcoins. People like choice, and that's why it doesn't matter if people like choice for speculation or privacy or ideology. They like to have different colors of jelly beans, and that's kind of like pretty much what it boils down to.
And also, to create these Bitcoin forks, you actually have to mine SHA-256. You can't just use a graphics card. You usually have to have an ASIC.
Bitgold.
Well, they're going to be on they're going to be on GPU, so that will be different.
Oh yeah, isn't Bitgold using Equihash?
Yeah, I believe
Apparently,
so.
which is what Zcash uses.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know. Good for them. I'm all about bridge building. I'm really sick of this community being all like, my idea. Why don't we just recognize that it's a market and things happen and people have different preferences and whatever. Shout out to Monero in that vein. Yeah.
All right, we'd like to continue adding the big couch. We're going to have Ksenia join us.
So can I ask?
And first we need to introduce Ksenia. Ksenia also was on the World Crypto Network a few years ago. And
there have been some casualties, so I left, and then now I'm back. While I'm looking at the laptop, now I'm back on World Crypto Network.
Because it's right here, and it's hard to not look
and it's showing me charts.
And just make sure to talk right into the microphone so the audience can hear you.
There are some charts on the laptop showing me some crazy numbers. So I actually had a question about. I had a question about, you mentioned about building bridges, right? So there are two things. One is Zcash team was involved with Ethereum and Metropolis to introduce some ZK snarks. And then another thing, I remember there were a bunch of variations of Zcash, and everyone thought it's some kind of enemies or whatever. They wanted to remove the founder's fee and stuff like that. But then I was under the impression that the core Zcash team is pretty much friendly with all this folk. Can you talk more about all these variations, how many of them are, and what do they do?
Yeah, so with the Ethereum Metropolis thing, we collaborated with some of their researchers on, figuring out how to best integrate ZK snarks into Ethereum. With that, just to get it out of the way, everyone asks what's the point of Zcash once Ethereum adds ZK snarks? But Zcash is very focused on this zero knowledge proof stuff and improving it. And the idea is that we're probably always going to be kind of one step ahead, where Ethereum is very generally, they're focused on everything. So they're a world computer and all that. And Zcash is a payment system. So we're not trying to be Ethereum, and Ethereum's just trying to add more privacy to their software. So with the Zcash forks, yes, there's I don't even know how many there are at this point.
Well, I know of one called Z Classic.
Yeah, Z Classic was the first
one.
My
My friend Rhett started out and basically just took the founder's reward out.
Yeah.
And the funniest part about that is that pretty soon after they wanted to fork Z Classic to a new project called Zen, where they would put the founder's reward back in but give the money to someone else.
Exactly.
Hilarious story.
Yeah, so Z Classic was a fork, no founder's reward, and then they were like, wait, how are we going to pay developers to maintain this?
Rhett just started it. He just likes doing that stuff. He's fun.
So, yeah, but it's cool. Actually, there was some, I forget what exactly happened. Oh, there was some vulnerability in the code, or in creating a transaction that caused some nodes to crash when they got the transaction in their mempool. So we eventually disclosed this, obviously, but there was a period of time where we were investigating it privately and weren't trying to reveal that there's this vulnerability, and we collaborated with the Z Classic people because they were the ones that experienced all the nodes crashing, and so yeah, there's and relatedly, all of the Z Cash forks and whatnot all use the same same parameters that we generated. So they didn't have their own ceremony or anything. They're using the ones that we did.
That's so unfortunate. The ceremony is my favorite part. But that does remind me of what happened in Paris at the Breaking Bitcoin conference. My friend JJ gave a speech, and he wasn't supposed to reveal his vulnerability, but he did. And JJ's vulnerability was able to crash Bitcoin nodes by overloading the RAM in the node, causing the node to go offline. It had been fixed in maybe 3 of the 4 implementations, but none of the implementations had been released. And that's only when JJ had spoken and given it out that they realized that might apply to other coins that had copied Bitcoin. Yep. So much like Z Classic helping Zcash, JJ's exploit could hurt many coins. But it's so hard to think when there's so many butterflies around, right?
Yeah.
So there is about I don't know, thousands of different coins out there, and I mean there are at least only maybe 5 or 6 that, including the forks of Zcash, which have research focused on privacy and security and integrity of financial transactions, right? So I was thinking, so your view on people forking Zcash is pretty much positive. As many there will be experiments to actually bring privacy and security to the users, the better it is, right?
I mean, as long as they're not trying to trick people and tell people, make people think that the Zcash development team are behind their fork, then why not? I mean, I think it's fine. There's actually a bunch of people that work on third-party softwares that get support from all of these different forks. There's a lot of open source wallets and stuff for Zcash that work for all of the forks, and they get funded from the various communities. So I think it's only a good thing as long as they're not trying to trick people.
I have another question.
We also have a joke from the audience. Joe says that his vulnerability is puppies. Thanks, Joe.
That's a terrible vulnerability, absolutely terrible. It's my vulnerability as well, puppies and kittens. So what was my question? Yeah, I always ask all the cool crypto crowds and teams what actually your needs, what needs of Zcash team is now. Is it skills, some particular skills you're looking for developers hiring, or what the needs of the project?
Yeah, I think we are in this like flurry of hiring, and I think right now we're focused on more developers just so we can move along quicker.
Developers. Yeah.
So if you're interested in applying, I think it's just jobs@z.cash and send a resume and why you want to be a Zcash developer. But yeah.
So Paige, you used to live in San Francisco, but now you've left. Can you tell us where you've moved and why, and if you like it now?
I live in the free state of New Hampshire. Oh yeah, that's very true. Yes. So New Hampshire is known as the Free State because there's this project called the Free State Project where the goal was to get 20,000 people to commit to moving to New Hampshire and sort of like take over, the communities and the politics and all of that.
So they would become statists. The Free Staters are called statists. Okay.
Well, you could go both ways, but I think there's benefits to some of those individuals, taking office. For example, there are a few state representatives that have done a lot of great work to promote cryptocurrency freedom in New Hampshire. So New Hampshire is one of the freest states to use cryptocurrency. If you're a business or an individual, you don't need licenses or anything like that. You're all exempt from that. Yeah, so it is what it is. But the project did receive the 20,000th signature. I think it was early last year or the year before. And that basically triggers the move. So everyone is supposed to move within 4 or 5 years to New Hampshire. We'll see if that actually happens. I'm sure some people won't move, and they just
should
kind of sign
have tied their
name,
Bitcoin keys to that. You can't spend any more Bitcoins if you don't move to New Hampshire.
Yeah. Well, this project started before Bitcoin, so you wouldn't have been able to do that.
Too early.
It's a really great community, and Derek was just here, but I don't know where he went.
Wandered off. We could have brought him in. It would have been the perfect segue.
Shout out to Free State Bitcoin Shop.
Yeah. I
actually just went there last week and spent a bunch of Bitcoin and Zcash, actually just Zcash at the Bitcoin shop. But yeah, they have a big cryptocurrency only store in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, where they sell, various knickknacks, shirts, Bitcoin themed things. They have a Bitcoin ATM, and they sell stuff, but they're more there to like help educate people, and people wander in from the street like curious. And
do they have a Bitcoin ATM?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
They have the same one that's here. I forget the brand.
Oh, the glowing neon circle one.
Yeah, the one out front.
Yeah, very nice. Huge screen. The screens on Bitcoin ATMs keep getting bigger and bigger. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool store. So if you're ever in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, I highly recommend checking that place out. And they've also gotten a lot of stores in the area to accept Bitcoin and various cryptocurrencies.
Very cool. And then, Ksenia, you live in Berlin, right? That's very much a hot spot for encryption and other computer technologies. You found that to be true?
I have more questions about Zcash. Should I shut up? I have a lot of questions.
You can tell us a little bit about Berlin, then give us another question, because you don't want to grill Paige too much, She might not come back on the show tomorrow if you treat her mean today.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, but it's
now
not
we're at the conference. Now we're at the conference. We don't have to troll each other on Twitter. It's more. That's
okay,
the whole
I'll
point, right?
just
we can troll each other in
That's
person.
the whole point, that we can talk now.
We all come here to troll each other in real life. Welcome to the HCPP 17. Berlin. Berlin has Room 77. That this is like a mecca of Bitcoin. Jorg is here. Yeah, we should definitely get Jorg. I think on World Crypto Network. I'm sure he probably already been there. He's like father of all the Bitcoiners, like adoptive father of all the Bitcoiners, and to-be Bitcoiners who come to Berlin, and he takes care of everyone. And one of my favorite things about Bitcoin Stammtisch every first Thursday of the month, so if you're coming to Berlin, make sure you come on the first Thursday of any month and drop by Room 77, because that's where people gather. And in the beginning it was more a lot of talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and whatever. And now there's just socializing. I mean, people still talk about Bitcoin, but I mean, they talk about life as well. And
at the end of every speech, they plug their ICO.
Sometimes, but it's also acceptable. Where was I? Yes, so my favorite part of this Stammtisch is when everyone is already tired and drunk, and then Jörg starts buying shots, and then everyone cheers to the freedom of transaction. And I remember once I brought a guy who doesn't have bank accounts, he runs his own gift economy blah with his friends, he's a currency designer. And we're coming from some other conference where we also grabbed some banker. So we come to the Room 77, and there is this currency designer guy who worked with LED systems like 20 years ago, community currencies, all this stuff. And we have this banker, like a normal banker who just wants to get everyone in debt, right? So I'm sitting drinking with them. I was trying to make them pay me cash so I can pay their bill with Bitcoin so I get some cash. That's what I usually do. But long story short, I order shots for everyone, and I just make them cheer and say this thing, we're drinking to the freedom of transaction. And the weird thing is that both guys, the banker and the currency designer, they sort of connected over this strange thing we do at Room 77. Even though they probably interpreted it in a different way, right? But I really liked the vibe and the glow in their eyes when they were drinking the shots, yeah. So what else to say about Berlin? I don't know really.
It's amazing. Everyone was nice to me when I was there. It was only a couple of days, but I had a good time in Berlin.
Yeah, there is another very good place in Berlin which sells probably the best ice cream in Berlin, and it's obviously sold for Bitcoin or Ether. It's called Oak and Ice. Some meetups there as well. The next one I'm co-organizing, going to be on the 24th of October with some free ice cream there. So yeah, there are really good places to go in Berlin to spend your cryptocurrency and connect to good crowds.
All right, let's talk more about Zcash later, but now let's continue the big couch and let's bring on Derek J. Paige, you can stay with us if you want, or you can go. Yay! Here's Derek J.
Don't forget to just give a quick background about Derek J. was at World Crypto Network a long time ago.
Yeah, Theo, you've got to be on the microphone if they want to hear you.
World Crypto Network.
Yep, you have to make sure you bring the mic really close to your mouth so the audience doesn't complain. But much like Ksenia, Derek used to do interviews on the World Crypto Network. We did Bitcoin Talk Show.
It's real.
He has a card. And Derek is very well dressed today. And you guys can't see it because it's off screen, but you should have seen his bag. It was immaculate. It's an amazing bag.
Oh, thank you. So I was just learning what to do with crypto after I die. There's all these people talking about, I'm wondering if there's people who are going to slash us as we leave. They're like, is anyone prepared
And now
for
you're
this?
going to find out.
Yeah. So now I'm prepared for in case I die, what to do with cryptocurrency. And I was learning how to hack the blockchain. How to spot a good ICO. This place is blowing my mind. We got these cards. Did you show off these cards yet on the
No,
on the
go
TV?
ahead. Show the people the cards.
I'm amazed. I want these cards for our store. I run a Bitcoin store in New Hampshire, and people are always trying to pay, and they use their phones, and it can be complicated. But they've got these cool cards, and I have to be careful how I show you, because the way you might have my private key. So they've got like an NFC card, and you could just tap it at a payment processor. It could be like a terminal or your phone, and boop, it'll just deduct Litecoin, Bitcoin, probably any cryptocurrency you put on it. And people are using these to buy whatever, hamburgers, beers.
And they only take Bitcoin and Litecoin here. They don't take any fiat currency, even though I have thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of these weird check currencies, which seem to be worth less than you'd think.
Yeah, and be careful if you put it near anyone's phone. They could steal your money. So they've got these cool little sleeves to protect them. Or you can actually fund the wallet. You want to put some more money on it, you just send some Bitcoin right to it.
I've got just the thing for that. I've got a Faraday cage, actually, that I keep my passport in because they put creepy chips in all the passports, and I wanted to be careful.
So what are you guys talking about? I just jumped in here.
I have a question to you immediately.
Yeah. So what's up?
I need your mic. So you said that you learned about what to do with your Bitcoin after you die, right?
Yeah.
So is it possible to actually bring your cryptocurrency into the afterlife?
You need it, actually, to access the afterlife.
In heaven, they only take Bitcoin, yeah.
Yeah, St. Peter is like, excuse me, let me check your QR code. If you don't have it, you're out. You just get it sent right away.
The rules have gotten more strict on heaven since I've been there last.
Yeah, and the different layers of hell, it depends. Do you have Zcash? Do you have Monero? Depends.
Sorry, I'm like grabbing your mic.
Please.
So then fiat is not accepted in hell or heaven.
No, and not in my store either. We did an encrypted Zcash transaction this week. It was super cool. You guys used Zcash before? Have you used this?
I only use Bitcoin.
What's Zcash?
Oh, come on. I'm sure it's probably the most private currency that there is in the world that's ever been invented by humans. And we did a fully encrypted transaction. So if someone wants to look up what happened, even if they had, and the video's online, you can go check the blockchain yourself. So we'll look at the addresses. If you were to look it up, with Bitcoin, you could see this address sent this amount to this address. With Zcash, it's going to be an unknown address, or an unknown address and an unknown quantity to an unknown address. I mean, talk about privacy. That's the kind of money I would want to use.
And Paige was just talking about your store earlier. She said it was in New Hampshire. What can you tell us about your Bitcoin shop?
Okay, yeah. So the Free State Bitcoin shop, the first thing you need to know is the world famous Bitcoin tour. We're starting this thing, of all places in the world to go, Prague is pretty good, but Portsmouth, New Hampshire is going to beat all of the places in the world.
Paris, Berlin, Amsterdam, Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
World famous Bitcoin. See the different businesses that you can spend. You'll be able to live your whole life. You can do yoga, get your dinner, you can get groceries. Most people can't boast that. And then, there are some places you can get a hotel, all different kinds of things. So you can stop around, do the world famous Bitcoin tour. Paige can attest.
Yeah, I attempted to do it, but I couldn't. There were too many places. I couldn't get to them all.
It's too many. You can't do it all. So then, of course, the most important stop is the Free State Bitcoin shop.
You have a bar that takes Bitcoin?
There is a bar. You can get smashed on Bitcoin. I know you've been waiting to do that. And then, and spend way too many. The servers actually want it. I mean, they'll intercept your
and they'll pay your bill in fiat and then take your Bitcoin.
So there are many places to spend Bitcoin. How about earning Bitcoin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Most of the people who come into our shop and are spending crypto are earning crypto for their pay. They'll work for companies that pay them. There's blockchain-based companies in Portsmouth, New Hampshire that will pay their employees in Bitcoin. People are paid, between 5% and 100% in crypto. And then they need a place to spend it. So they can get hardware wallets. Have you used OpenBazaar yet?
I haven't, no.
Okay, well I hear they've got this new version. It's apparently very good. So if you want to shop online, yeah.
I can attest that the new OpenBazaar is really awesome, so everyone should try it out.
Yeah, I think it seems like the way to go. So yeah, it's a place to network with other people, learn about cryptocurrencies, and the most exciting part is every day I get to set someone up with their first Bitcoin wallet. They walk in, they want to learn about cryptocurrency, they're using better money, and they'll never look to fiat again.
That's very cool, and I think we've got another great product that we could add to your store. Maybe the Crypto HW wallet could send you some leather cases for your Trezor wallets. I think that'd be the perfect thing to sell in a Bitcoin shop.
That sounds baller. In fact, I think I should insist. If you're gonna buy a Trezor, you're gonna need a leather wallet.
If you're gonna put all your money in there, you may as well hold it in style, is what I was thinking. So
yeah.
We also have a question from the audience. Looks like Russell's back again, talking about airdrop forks. He says that airdrop forks will allow holders of Bitcoin to have a stake in all possible innovation moving forward and make Bitcoin anti-fragile with choice and less risk, all based upon real innovation paths. Russell's a big believer in these forks. I'm more dreading 2018, which they're saying might be the year of airdrop Bitcoin forks. I'm tired of them already.
I believe there's a term, I'm not sure if it's a correct term, it's called a hard spoon.
A hard spoon? I think that's a new one. I'm sure the audience will have fun with that. They love that.
Airdrop hard forks is like too long, it's just hard spoon. So you get your coins, right? It's like force feeding people this new currency, right?
Of course, like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Why use a spoon, cousin? Because it'll hurt more.
So yeah, hard spoons. I'm actually planning one, but I'm not going to shill on the World
It's even worse than an ICO. She's planning a hard spoon.
Yes.
Derek, what do you think about hard spoons? Are airdrop forks the future?
Anytime I hear about a fork, I'm moving all my money into it. Give me all the free new coins. You could just move
In or
them all
out? Are you selling the new forks?
No.
You're buying more.
Yeah, just give me all the new coins. Why wouldn't you? I mean, like, you could do cool things with them. Who knows what's going to happen with them?
I heard Bitmain's only taking Bcash now, so if you want a miner, you got to buy that Bcash stuff, I guess.
Suspicious. I'm curious about that.
Highly suspicious.
Yeah.
What about Paige? Should there be more Z hard spoons or only Bitcoin hard spoons?
You know what? People should go for it. Why not? I don't know. They can do what they want.
I was mixed on starting my own crypto before, but after an endorsement like that, I can't say.
I'm actually just really tired and hungry. I'm like burning out, so I might hop off. But thanks for having me. I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow and Sunday. We'll be running the show every day, especially if you keep sending us those questions in the chat. Especially the super chat helps the questions come to the top. So thank you, Russell, for your donation, and thanks, Paige, for being on the show. Let's clap Paige out.
Yeah, Paige.
And then the live band plays a little notes, a little up and down, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. We'll work on that for tomorrow.
The studio audience is here, and fun fact, the people behind the camera the people at home don't know this, but we're actually the only sober ones here. Everyone is smashed.
There are so many giant beers being passed around in this audience.
Drinking from boots.
Incredible mugs of beer. It's we're very close to Germany, but I think we're in another country. I forget.
Yeah, and you can't buy them with fiat. Basically.
It's only Bitcoin that you can spend here and Litecoin. Charlie Lee, where are you? Why aren't you here? Get on an airplane. Come on.
I think I'm gonna pop out as well because there's the fog of crypto war in half an hour, and I want to get drunk before that. I can't listen to that sober. Too emotional.
All right, so Ksenia's going to pop out, but I think we have another guest coming in. I think we're going to have John from BitcoinEngrave.com. And I think this would be great for Derek, another product that we could maybe sell in your store. So let's thank Ksenia for being on. Thank you, Ksenia. And let's invite in John. So we've got John, either way. Derek could stay too. So John, tell them about your website right up close to your mouth and tell us about Bitcoin-engrave.com.
Yeah, on Bitcoin-engrave.com we engrave special things, key changes or necklaces with a private key or a public key on it, so the user can have their own wallet anytime on there. Also when the mobile phone have no internet or anything else, so you can get money to your account at home, in your treasure or anything else. So it's possible to make for any coin, for any address or for anything else. So we have also some bracelets. I will bring.
Go ahead, right up to the camera. So you have keychains and bracelets. They say Bitcoin. Looks like the keychains have a QR code on them, so you could accept donations or charge people. Go ahead and show them. They want to make sure you show the private key.
The private key is not on this, yes.
So only the public key would be on there. And that's a great, easy way to carry your Bitcoin around. You do custom engraving. I hear you, even though I'm not a big fan, you even do Litecoin, maybe Ethereum. You put the other addresses on there.
Yeah, it's possible with all coins, so it's also with Zcash or anything else. I have other products in my store and in my shop, so it's also possible to engrave a BIP39 on the back side. So people can make their own private key, which is protected with a passphrase, and I can engrave this, so the user can have the private key on their chain and only can redeem it with their own passphrase. So there's no way for me to get the money on this.
Very cool. Derek, what do you think? Is this a product you'd have in the Bitcoin shop?
Absolutely, and I'd be pushing it to anyone who accepts tips. This would be great for anyone. They don't want to pull out their phone and show, open an app. If you take tips, if you're a bartender or a server, you're walking around to different tables, you just pull that out, and you can someone could send you tips all day. And
the people in the audience are asking for a donation code, so I just want to turn this around. I don't know if you're going to be able to scan it from so far away. We'll zoom in on it.
It's the same, so I will engrave someone for you, and next time you have your donation code on your key. And
that would be super great.
You can show it. And also today we have a special code for the show made, 10% reduced for any order, and the code is VCT10.
WCN10. So if you use that now at bitcoin-engrave.com, you can order a bracelet or a keychain for yourself. Put your public key on there. I think that'd be great. We're hearing that Jimmy Song's in the audience and we'd like to join. Sorry, Jimmy, you have to be present to join. There's a reason that we all got on flights to come here so we could be here on the couch. This isn't going to be a Hangouts type show. We only have the one camera and we don't have any other way of adding you. So it's just not happening today. We also don't have a bunch of headphones. We're just not rigged for that. But it does look like we have another special guest in the audience. Let's bring on Tone Vase. Let's keep the big couch going. Come on, Tone Vase. Fresh from his speech right here. Hey, Tone.
I presented, I was on an ICO panel, and then I had my solo presentation. We tried to live stream them, but we could not get that going. Live streams are actually fairly difficult. We did our best, we couldn't do it. But the presentations were recorded. Hopefully, they will go online soon. We gotta find some more people out there. Bring them in here for some interviews.
I saw we had Amir Taki earlier, but we weren't able to grab him. We had some other guests, but I'm sure we'll get Amir back in here. We just had Paige from Zcash. We had Ksenia from the World Crypto Network. Theo from the World Crypto Network. We had Joseph from CryptoHWWallet.com, also our sponsor here on the board. And we talked about Trezor, who's also a sponsor here, and from the Czech Republic. So very cool to have Bitcoin companies right here in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, we got to get Slush in here to talk about Trezor and the mining ecosystem.
Also a sponsor and also a local Czech company. So very cool, Slush Pool.
So it's we got to try and catch them. Amir's here. I haven't seen Adam back yet. I haven't seen Peter Todd yet. There's a lot of people I haven't seen.
And we might have a special guest tomorrow. His name rhymes with Zarek Zomblozo. So you might have to figure that one out at home with your decoder rings. You might need a ceremony and some Zcash to figure that out.
Well, have I been getting any questions? I haven't looked at the Bitcoin price at all in about 4 hours. I have no idea what the price of Bitcoin is, guys.
And survey says the price of Bitcoin is $43.83.
Beautiful.
Looks like a bit of a little dip from the high of $44.26.
That's okay.
So not bad at all, I think.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, we're getting close to that double top of 4,400, and we should go higher. I'm still looking for my 6,000 to 7,500 top in November.
Did you have an ICO panel? Who was on the panel?
Oh God, I don't remember their names, unfortunately. But yeah, the ICO panel was interesting. There was one person that likes the idea of the ICOs, another person that was somewhat neutral, and Elena, former CEO of Satoshi Labs, she was the moderator. It was good. I mean, I got my points across. I think those points have been exhausted. And
you're a big fan of ICOs. You can't wait to invest in the next one.
Right.
Email tone@protonmail.ch. Send them your ideas.
And yeah, so the ICO panel went okay. And then after that, I did my my presentation. Hopefully everyone has seen it by now, the Bitcoin speculation presentation about the history of the price and the use cases and where we're going next. The new presentation that I'm working on is the ICO versus the IPO bubble of the 90s. I need to work on that. I'm not sure if I'll get that done to present in LA. I might stick with my normal presentation, just so much going on. But yeah, next year, that's the presentation you guys are going to see. And I'm going to continue to try and, take on these challenges, change my presentations around, keep it fresh, keep it new.
So Tone, we've been talking a lot about airdrop forks like Bcash and the B2X fork. Are you a big fan of those? I think they're going to be very popular next year, whether we like them or not. Things like BitGold,
Yeah,
and,
the BitGold
all
thing.
that kind of thing.
Is there? So last I heard, the futures markets have been opened on the 2x chain. It's now down to like 0.2 of a Bitcoin or something like that. It will probably keep dropping. I don't know. Does anyone have an idea of how much BGold is expected to open at?
I think they all start at 0 and then they end up there. Yeah.
But you mean, so I do think that this is going to be the new model, because now that the SEC and other regulators are taking notice of your ICO and you creating money out of thin air, your only option is to utilize a model that does not hold you responsible for creating a security. And the best option you have is to fork another chain, and ideally you want to fork a chain with the most decentralized distribution, which once again brings you to Bitcoin. And if you don't want to compete with Bitcoin for its hash rate, you would fork Bitcoin, you would change the mining algorithm. If you want mining, you don't even need mining, right? You can fork Bitcoin and immediately turn it into proof of stake. I mean, the idea is, how do you, entice speculators into making you rich, right? And most of the time this happens is because you own a bunch of that coin. So again, in Bitcoin, it's a little harder. Some of these projects, they think they're doing something good, and you have these, well, this guy is smart, he's also a core developer, but he's launching this other altcoin. Like, why? Just work on Bitcoin. Make Bitcoin better. And people continue to make fun of, well, we need these altcoins because Bitcoin Core, they're too slow, they're not doing it right, we still don't have Lightning Network, we still don't have fungibility. Well, that's because every 6 months there's another hard fork they have to fight. They have to program in 0.15 a feature that ignores 2x nodes. That takes time. That's time taken away from Lightning. That's time taken away from fungibility. So what does Jeff Garzik do? Oh, I'm going to sneak past that. So what does Core have to do? Well, now we got to fix that. So yeah, if you're going to continue to get in someone's way, you can then accuse them from never making it to the finish line.
Hey, I'm going to bounce after this, but I would like to know, before I do, what's been your favorite part of this event, Tone?
So the event just started, and I spent half the time of the event on stage. It was awesome to be on stage for my very first press conference. That was actually kind of cool. I've never been a part of a press conference, but it was cool sitting on stage with only the reporters in the audience doing a press conference.
And it was a great panel. They had Amir Taki and a masked man. Very fun stuff.
We got to get some masked men for some interviews and get into that a little bit.
It seems really unlikely that they would come on camera if I was them. But again, if I was a masked man, I would just stay home.
We'll see. We'll see if we can get a masked man on camera and then ask them why they're on camera. That would be a good question. So that's been great. I'm really enjoying Prague. On this European tour, I really enjoy walking around Prague, seeing some of the culture, seeing like the old bridges and castles. So Prague and Venice have been my scenic highlights. So it's been great. It's been really good. People are nice. You can get by on English. And the event, this space is awesome. I'm really liking it. Looking forward to coming back to Prague.
It says in the audience they're asking if Batman was here, and I can say I was just looking out the window, I saw a guy with a black surgical mask. I don't know that he's Batman, but then I don't know that he's not Batman either.
So how are we doing? I haven't actually eaten yet, so did you eat yet?
I eat at normal time, so of course I ate before the show, and yeah, we thought you would have eaten by now, Tone. What's that about?
I'm gonna go find some food and find other people. We'll go find some interesting people to.
Do you think we should try to take a break? We've been going for, it seems like quite a while, Getting notes from the audience. They're shaking their heads yes. They think we should take a break.
All right, let's take a little break.
Oh no, we might have one more guest.
Well, one more guest.
There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. So let's do some more clapping and let's bring a new guest. John, if you want to go. Thanks, John and Derek.
You want me to take over this one, or you want to keep
Sure,
going?
yeah, we can. So we're joined now by Elena, who used to work. Oh, I lost my microphone. But she used to work at Satoshi Labs. They make the Trezor, and keep it further away. And Tone's going to take it from here. Go ahead, Tone.
Elena, we were just on a panel together, and unfortunately. Well,
Sure. Elena, if you can pull the microphone really close to your mouth.
So let me slide over here.
Are you upset?
No, I'm not upset at all.
He's buying ICO soon.
Yeah. What did you think of the panel? Because you were the moderator, and you
were the moderator.
You accepted me as the ICO skeptic, and maybe we can talk about that. And what is your outlook? Because you've been involved in a lot of great projects for Bitcoin. You guys created CoinMap, the first interactive map for Bitcoin businesses.
That was Stick, or Pavel Rusnak. It was his weekend project, and then we included it into our Satoshi Labs projects as an umbrella organizations for those.
Right. And you guys did create the first hardware wallet, being the Trezor, and you were also the first mining pool, being Slushpool, as part of your umbrella of people working together.
That's right.
And now you have left that. Was it a company or was it just an initiative?
It was a company.
It was a company. You've now moved on from that company. So tell us what you're working on now and why.
So I opened a foundation in Liechtenstein that's dedicated.
Louder.
A little bit louder, or more, much more.
Yeah. I'm loud.
Let's be reasonable here. Okay? I'll try. I just opened the foundation that will be supporting projects and teams creating open source and decentralized applications. And what we want to do is create the next web, a decentralized web, with a fair and free market built on top of the Bitcoin blockchain.
So you're working on a decentralized web. Decentralizing the internet.
You can call it, you can look at it from many perspectives, and so you can call it different ways. One call it information market, the other one's a new peer-to-peer protocol. Everyone has his way of interpreting and using what we're trying to build.
Right. So you were the moderator of the ICO panel, but what is your current views on ICOs? Because you were around in the space before ICOs. You were around before Ethereum. So what did you think of Ethereum when it launched? What's your view of Ethereum now and your view on the ICOs that it kind of sprawled?
I'm a business developer, so I like to look at projects, and you've been with me in some hackathon, I think, when we were judging some projects, and I like to think of each project as a business. And so when I see most of these ICOs being really wacky and not having any real use case or not really having a good team, I'm very skeptical, And so, but I still think, it's something we should explore rather than just bash and
That's fair. No, that's fair. I just haven't seen much good come across the radar, so now I just.
Yeah.
I have them fight me, and no one won so far, but we'll see.
You can call me an optimist or a dreamer, or I don't know.
All right. So how are you guys going about developing this decentralized web? From develop, like, where do you even start? Like, I have no idea. I'm genuinely curious. How do you start competing with the World Wide Web?
Well, the first of things is like you don't want to compete. You want to create some alternative and be attractive enough for people to go there. And so we'll be focusing on. Can you hear me well?
Oh no, I got it.
So we'll be focusing on people and users first. So the primary focus is the open source developers and allow them to easily create peer-to-peer applications that make economically sense for each participant. And that's why we'll create and provide kind of framework to code and also build the protocol. But the thing you asked, like a competition, for me, this is more of finding partnerships and pieces of the puzzle in the market and pull people together to actually create something of a bigger value together.
But you have to build the initial platform before people start building applications on top of it. Like Ethereum took 2 years to put together and now everyone's building on top of it.
Yeah, not necessarily. You can also have a framework that's creating applications that are forward compatible with some protocol, for example. Or you can actually test and go with several protocols and see, how that turns out.
And how many developers are working on this at this time?
I don't know how many developers per se. There's around 300 people around that framework, that tool that is called Maki. And Eric Martindale is the creator.
Oh, you're working with Eric?
Yes.
Oh, we should get Eric in here too.
He's around.
Yeah, I saw him. Okay, so it's that initiative. Okay, and so is it a grassroots movement or is there money behind it? Is there investment involved, and will there be an ICO?
Well, that's a good question. We will definitely first raise money from private sphere to kind of kickstart more the development, because we have the protocol in the stage of proof of concept, or some basic technical lines are there, but we definitely need to develop that. The Maki tool is probably up to 80% functioning, and there are currently like 20 different MVPs built around it already. So there's an existing community of about 300 people around that tool, and we will start from there. And well, you know me, I like to work with people, and I like to find ways how to make it more valuable together. So that's what I'm going to focus.
Yeah, some people are good at that. In my experiences, I've been terrible working with people lately over the last couple of years in the space. But okay, so you did mention some initial investment. Is this like initiatives towards open source software and they just want to see it get done, or are these investors actually looking for a return on their investment financially?
We are considering all the options, and we are considering ICO. That's why I opened the foundation in Liechtenstein, because these guys, that's actually the first government that I've seen that understands Bitcoin primarily, and they understand these kind of technologies, and they are pretty much forward thinking. So the Prince of Liechtenstein is a fan of Bitcoin, and he likes to see blockchain based stuff created there. So we opened it there with the possibility, to directly talk to them, talk to the regulator, explain what we're doing, and they said, okay, this sounds great, go ahead, and you have green light and non-action letter, but once there's a problem, we want you to come and talk with us, and we'll resolve it very fast. So for me, this is a very good approach. Like they first inform themselves. Right, and they don't try to prevent. My position on innovations is like, don't step into the innovation unless you see there's a repeating pattern that cannot be balanced out by the market itself.
Okay, so if you do decide to go ICO, what will make an ICO ethical? Let's start there, right? Like, what would the purpose of the ICO be, and how would I'm assuming it would be a token, and what would the use case of that token be?
Simply deliver what you promise. That's like the first criterion, and the ultimately deciding criterion on whether it's a good ICO or not. If you deliver what you promise and your product works, then that's the only way. And
but ICOs come in multiple forms. Some people use ICO as an app token. Some people use ICO as just an investment vehicle, and some people just like to use the word ICO.
Some even say TGE.
What is that?
token generation event.
Oh God. Okay.
It's pointing because it's like this has been nailed by I think the Swiss lawyers to kind of avoid the term coin, right? And offering and the resemblance of IPO to ICO. So to kind of break the mental link.
So are you looking for the ICO to be more of an application coin or more of a initial investment and like more of a legitimate security?
Case by case, I would say. I even talked to a project that is in mining physical commodities for many years, and it's a public company in London, and they want to, they're considering an ICO on new mines. And this is like a clear equity-based use case, and that's what they're going to do, and comply with all this stuff because they already do. But you know, this is a company that has gone through all the licensing and all the processes, and they already incorporated the costs, which is not the case for startups. And the, you know, the burden of complying with some regulations is up to 300, 400, 500,000 just for US. And this is kind of stuff, it's a wasted opportunity for me to invest that somewhere else. So, yeah.
All right. Well, do you have anything else to add? And you can let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, we'll announce soon. So this is your pre-peek-in, and we had a small presentation in Liechtenstein. There was a fintech conference. It was more about the vision that we did not talk about here, but you can probably find it somewhere. So soon. Tune in.
And your Twitter handle or how people can like follow your work?
Alena Satoshi.
Alena Satoshi on Twitter. All right, guys, we're going to take a little break. We're going to charge our devices, our microphones. We'll try and find some other very interesting people to interview here. We'll probably start a new live stream as well. We'll cut this one, be back within 30 minutes or so. Or tomorrow. No, we'll come back today. There's still time. It's only 6 o'clock. I got to check the speaker schedule. Let's see where some of the interesting speakers are. And we'll be back, guys.